The version of you in 2030 is watching this right now, not from a place of judgment, not shaking their head at who you are today, but quietly, gently, with a kind of understanding you don't have yet, because they remember exactly how this moment felt. The uncertainty, the waiting, the quiet fear that maybe you're running out of time, the nights where you wondered if your efforts would ever pay off, if the small steps you're taking now even matter, and they want you to know something important before you go any further. You are not wasting your life, even if it feels slow right now. The future version of you remembers this season clearly, remembers how heavy your heart felt when things didn't move fast enough, remembers how often you questioned yourself, how often you compared your timeline to others, how many times you felt like you should be further along by now, and they smile softly, not because it was easy, but because they understand what you couldn't see yet. They know that this version of you, the one listening right now, is doing something incredibly brave by continuing to show up without certainty, by choosing patience in a world obsessed with speed, by choosing growth even when there's no applause. And they want you to know that these quiet choices matter more than you realize. The future you knows which doors eventually opened, which paths finally made sense, and which moments you'll one day look back on and realize were shaping you in ways nothing else could have. And if they could reach through time for just a moment, they would gently tell you this: keep going, even when it feels invisible, because what you're building now becomes the foundation they stand on. The version of you in 2030 remembers the nights you doubted yourself, the mornings you woke up tired but tried again anyway, the times you almost quit but didn't, and they are deeply grateful that you stayed, that you endured, that you didn't give up on yourself when it would have been easier to walk away. They know how the story continues. They know the strength you haven't recognized yet, the clarity you haven't reached yet, the confidence that hasn't fully formed yet, and they wish you could see how this season fits perfectly into the bigger picture of your life. There are lessons you're learning now that will later protect your peace, boundaries you're forming now that will later save you from burnout, and patience you're practicing now that will later help you sustain the life you're growing into. The future you understands why things couldn't rush, why some opportunities had to wait, why certain chapters felt repetitive or slow, because arriving too early would have cost you more than waiting ever did. They see you worrying about time, about age, about whether you're behind, and they want you to breathe and release that pressure, because the life that unfolds doesn't unfold because you panicked. It unfolds because you stayed aligned, grounded, and honest with yourself. The version of you in 2030 isn't perfect, but they are steadier, calmer, and more at peace, and they carry deep respect for who you are right now, because they know that without this version of you, uncertain but trying, tired but hopeful, scared but still moving, they wouldn't exist. They want you to trust that the effort you're putting in today, even when it feels small, is creating momentum you can't feel yet, that consistency is quietly shaping your future, and that you don't need to see the full staircase to take the next step. If you could hear their voice clearly, it wouldn't be loud or dramatic, it would be calm and reassuring, telling you that you're allowed to grow slowly, that you're allowed to change directions, that you're allowed to rest without giving up, and that becoming who you're meant to be is not a race against time, but a relationship with it. The future you knows that the doubts you're carrying right now don't disqualify you, they humanize you, and that one day you'll look back at this moment not with regret, but with gratitude for your resilience. So if you feel lost, tired, or unsure right now, let this be your reminder from the future. You're on the path, even when it doesn't feel clear. You're becoming, even when progress feels slow. And the version of you in 2030 is watching with pride, quietly cheering you on, knowing that everything you're doing today is leading you exactly where you need to be.